Hey, and welcome to this new tutorial where we're going to make a Rook. So without any further ado, let's hop straight into it and get this thing here that we made in the first tutorial, disable the subdivision and bring it right over here. So we can line it up. We'll basically bring it somewhere over here. Now in front of the graphic view, I'm just going to get the top line of vertices, extrude it up, and there's no scaling needed. So I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'm going to line it up really well. Extrude this up like so, and I've covered how to do this particular thing in the last tutorials, so if you really need help by doing this part here, I'd suggest you watch the first, second, third or fourth tutorial, because I won't explain it 5 times over. So now if we turn on the subdivision, you can see that this is bending inwards, so I'm just going to give this a little more definition like with the other ones by creasing it up a little, basically using edge loops to add creasing along the edges like so, and now it looks nice. Now what I'm going to do is basically extrude this up until right here, scale it out and bring it to the point where it tapers inwards or outwards, get here, get an edge loop over here. Basically I'm going to scale it outwards, and now I'm going to extrude this up as well. So now what we could do is basically going to turn off the subdivision, going to extrude it in. So E for extrude, S for scaling, and scale it in like this. I'm going to multiply this by a factor of 1.5, so we get to right of half of it, because this is exactly how much it tapers in by going around. I think half of it is how thick it should be. You could of course bring it to right around here, but I'd suggest to going to right about half of it. Now I'm going to extrude it and scale it in once and twice more, and then just press F for fill. So now what I'm going to do is go into top of the graphic view, get the face selection mode, and take these here. Why is it not selecting? Okay, now we got it, and now we can extrude this up until here, and that should do it. That should do the trick. Going to disable the reference, and you can see it basically looks like a Rook with bad shading. If we turn on subdivision, you can see it looks a little bit more like a Rook with rounded edges, which is not what we want exactly. So in order to fix this, I'm going to get an edge loop right around here, and I'm going to bevel it out up until right here. Now I pretty much like this look, but it shouldn't be rounded at the top. I like it to be rounded at the bottom, but what you could do is basically get an edge loop and bevel it out on both sides in order to get a straight line here and a straight line here. But I basically only want the line to be on the top, so I'm going to get this here and just move it up like so. I like the rounding at the bottom, so I'm just going to keep it. You can crease it up on the bottom as well, like I just showed you, and you will see that we have too little topology to actually support the roundness of everything, so I'm just going to increase the viewport and render level to 3, and that should get rid of the stepping issues. Now what we can do is basically get this loop here and scale it outwards to get some creasing in the middle of it as well, and that should fix some of the issues there. Now that should be all. That is the whole Rook. We finished it up. Basically in the last tutorial I forgot to give the neck of the king some creasing as well, so I'm going to do it right here, and now only the knight is missing, and we will cover him in the next tutorial. I will see you then. Goodbye, see ya.